What's going on, boys and girls, and Glindas?
We weren't even ready because I didn't. You're not gonna be able to see yourself.
But you can hear?
Yeah, you can hear it.
Okay. Alright. So today we're going to be going back to the tier list. These are a lot of fun to do. It's just a little bit strange because I think we're going to just try to go all in one go, kind of come to an agreement and place it where we're going to place it. But like I said, it's just kind of strange doing a tier list between two people. But we'll get there. So yeah, Chucky's been a hot topic lately. We're both big fans, and it's been a hot topic because of the new TV series. So we're going to go back and rank the movies in order. So let's see. I guess we'll just start with the first Chucky movie, right? Which is this one right here.
Nope.
Right? That's the poster for the first Chucky movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Chucky 2, Chucky 3.
Apartments, let's see.
And this one, to me, and Dave, you can of course weigh in. I'm gonna say it is a A.
Me too.
Yeah, because it's obviously set the foundation for all of these to happen. Because it was such a classic, good mix of horror and the little bits of comedy in there. Yeah, just pretty solid. No complaints. Just yeah. And then we'll move on to Child's Play 2, which to me was a big surprise for a sequel because most of the time they're not as good, let alone better. But somehow I think...
if you need a recap, the second one is the one where he's being fostered with the older foster sister.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up in the doll factory, the toy factory.
Yeah.
The first one is the OG one with Andy and... Andy's in the second and third one too, but Andy in the house, the very first one, and it's him and his mom in their apartments or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, we'll just go to the third one when we get there.
So for the second one, since I would say it is better than the first, I think it has to go in the S tier for me. Right?
Agreed.
Towards the end, the battle in the toy factory, I think it was cool, and I get what they were going for, but it kind of drops off towards the end for me a little bit for some reason, but I still think it was a real big, triumph, like I said, to be better than the first. So anyway, we'll move on to 3. Now this one, I think, for me...
is the one where Andy's grown or more grown, older, and he's in the boot camp type of thing, so...
But this one felt like the most, I would say, out of all of them. That even the later ones, the Bride and Seed and that, this one to me felt like the most uninspired one. It felt like the one that was most done just to do it for, just to do it. So... like I said, the actor change and all of that, it just doesn't really have anything that makes me want to rewatch it, really. There were some good lines in there, of course, from Chucky, I remember, between him and Andy, because Andy's older and whatnot, But this one
looking at porn.
Yeah. But this one is just the most, just not memorable to me. And yeah, so I'm going to put, where is it? I lost it now. Oh, no, I got messed up. This is 3. Whoops. And this is 2. Yeah, this is 2. Okay, so 3, I'm going to put, honestly, a C or D.
I'm thinking C only because there's other ones I want to put in D, and I don't want to have 3 in D.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, too.
I think we should limit 2 to each tier.
Wait. Let's skip ahead. I think the one that's going to be is going to be in D. It would be this one right here, right? It shouldn't even be here. I wasn't even planning on.
That's what I was saying. It's not a Chucky movie because Chucky and the whole Child's Play franchise is about the personality of Charles Lee Ray just being in this doll. This is just AI gone rogue. Like, it's not
Yeah.
even the same fucking thing.
It would lead it to seem like that this franchise was dead and they're re-amping it with this one. But I love that the TV series came in and was like, yeah, we're not done yet, so fuck off everybody with this one. Like, although I think they're still doing a second one of that one. I don't know. It wasn't terrible. It's just not
in
anywhere
the same
close to
thing.
the same
It just
that
doesn't
these,
compare at all.
Yeah.
Because the whole reason that we love Chucky is because of his personality and Charles Lee Ray, and
Yeah.
that this just
So
isn't it.
So we'll just both go ahead and skip ahead of that one as D, right?
Yeah.
For D. And then, let's see, next would be Bride, the big revamp. We did a whole video talking about this one already that you can go watch with how much we love this one. No question about it. It's going in an S. Just an absolute masterpiece in terms of, like, memorable, iconic, funny moments, and just a really fun, just trash movie to watch. Just the perfect trash movie, if you ask me. And then we get into Seed, which is a really tricky one. To me, what do you think?
I would put it.
I
want to stick it right in between B and C. Like, it's like they tried to do Bride of Chucky again, but they just did it. It was all the wrong things. Like, it was just Bride of Chucky. Like he said, it was a trash movie, but it was such a well done, like, good, put together, correlated, funny, just a good trash movie. But this was a trash movie that it had, like, a few good moments, but overall it was just too trashy. Like, I still enjoy watching it, but it's not on the same level as Bride at all. And it just, they should have taken their win with Bride, like, getting away with that, because it was so well done in a poor way, I guess, if you want to say. But no, this one just isn't the same. They shouldn't have done that.
So for me, it's very, I give him points for passion and creativity with it, like all him having a kid storyline and the way that the kid is confused about his gender because dolls don't have the, it's very inspired and creative, and then even the whole plot of having the actual, actors given a reason for them to, Chucky becomes infamous in actual, like, movies and stuff like that. Like, they were doing big scope, but the thing is, it was just like she kind of already said, just way over to the top and just like silliness, where it's like, this is too much for one
What it
movie.
reminds me of is Bride of Chucky was funny in its little Easter eggs that they had, and it was still very true to Chucky's personality. But I feel like Seed of Chucky was just a spoof movie. Like, it was just one of those, like the Scary Movie franchise. That's what it felt like too much. It just wasn't.
Yeah, it was just way off the rails. It needed some refining, and I think it could have been much better remembered. But for me, I'm putting it at a C.
I think that makes sense, and
especially because nothing came of Glenda, really. I mean, she's not
right. Glenda,
really
they
carried on like something like Jennifer Tilly was from Bride. Like, they kind of just. I mean, they still luckily they still talk about they in the TV series, which is cool, and still keep them alive in that retrospect. But
these last two, I think we're going to disagree on.
Yeah, it's going to be so, and I can understand it. But so for me,
I'll let you put it where you want, but I'm going to say if we're sticking to the 2 per tier, I would move Child's Play 3 up to a B.
Child's Play 3, I would have to watch it again, but I'll tell you, just for the reason of the change of the actor with Andy, I didn't like that. None of the real connective tissues to the other movies all that much. That's why it's kind of lower for me, because I don't really remember much about it except for, of course, him being in military school, which I guess is kind of important for his development later on in these movies, which is cool. That's the thing about it. Some of these movies, they just age better. So that's what I was going to start off by saying with Curse. Curse, for me, on its own, if Cult had have never came and carried on with some of these characters and storylines, Curse would have just been, a real kind of meh movie to me. But considering that it was set up for Cult, and I didn't realize it at the time, and then the TV series as well, and all that story kind of bleeds on, Curse, I think, would be a lot better on a rewatch for me, and rank more highly in my mind because of that, where it did not really at the time. So for me, Curse, just for that, I think I'm gonna have to put it in a B. And then with Cult, now of course it bleeds over into the whole TV series idea, right? And continues on from this one, same reasons. However, I believe it was Cult that had the one scene that I think is one of the worst scenes in all of Child's Play. We talked about it before, where they make Charles Leroy like kind of crazy, and I believe that was in Cult, and I really don't like it for that. But I do like the again the ambition and the scope to end it where they end it, and also they brought back Andy, Colin, which they brought back Andy and Curse as well, I believe, at the very end, um, which was cool. Uh, but yeah, just for the characters that they bring back in this one, you know, I wasn't a fan of the whole multiple doll thing, the cult thing at first, but it grew on me because it is voodoo. You know, maybe there would be a spell for something like that, right? And yeah, I think it's gonna go in a B for me as well. I know that's too high for you, but just again, on its own, no. But because of what it sets up and what it brings back to the franchise, you know, the old characters, then yeah, it naturally goes there for me. Maybe even honestly for me, because I'm such a sucker for the nostalgia.
Stop right
I really
now.
am, but okay.
Stop right now.
So, yeah,
See, what I was gonna say was move Child's Play 3 up to a B, stick Curse in C, and Cult in D. I fucking hate Cult.
Well, let's rearrange it. So you're gonna put Cult in D because you hated Cult, which is fine. I can see that as well.
I would move this one up to B and move this one back down to C.
Yeah, and I can see that being you know okay as well. I'm just a sucker for again the nostalgia.
I don't even know what you're talking about when you say that it's set up so much for this TV show, like because of the Nika character.
Because
what did it set up?
Well, the whole doll in the Chucky TV series is one of the variants. First of all,
I know, but we could have easily just had one doll be in this Chucky TV series. Like, he could have just came back again like he did in every single movie before. How many are there?
But I'm saying also in the TV series, we get to look forward to these characters bleeding over into the story as well.
But if they never existed, then...
I mean, yeah, that's just my taste. So
I didn't care for any of the characters. They had no interesting plot. I don't give a fuck about Nika, honestly. I really don't.
Well, no, it's not just Nika. I'm just saying it's cool that they brought back some of the older characters.
Like Andy, and that's it?
No, they had Colin, too.
I guess, but I don't think that they were big enough in these movies to make these movies good.
Well,
and they could have still easily came back in a TV series without these movies existing.
Yeah, no.
So those movies didn't like them. I watched Curse. I was super excited for them because it was right when I started really getting into the Chucky movies, and I just was heavily disappointed. I was just like, that was just
yeah,
whatever.
They were straight to DVD.
Yeah, and then Cult. No, I fucking hated that one. I couldn't even comprehend what was going on with the multiple dolls thing. I don't think that it was needed. It is what it is. I still love the franchise altogether. I'm not going to hate on it because of those last two movies, but I just wasn't a fan. I do think that the OG Child's Plays are the best, and people will tell you that they used to be scared of them, but even if you look back on them, I wouldn't really say that they're scary necessarily. So I don't rank these as my favorite movies because they're scary or because of the horror aspect. I just think that he's interesting. The doll thing is interesting. How it just adds like a really heavy plot of him being able to sneak around and people obviously not believing the victims because it's a fucking doll. Like it's a very interesting movie, but it's not in my all-time favorites because of the horror aspect.
Yeah, the first movies. I think I was looking at a picture the other day of all the dolls from the different movies, and I think that the first doll actually, like without having the makeup and stuff, was the scariest. Something about like the eyes, like they're like a darker blue. I'm trying to find a picture. I don't know, like this right here. This look of the doll, I think it's the creepiest. Something about the way the eyes are like the dark and big blue like that. I don't know what's different about it versus the Chucky in the new TV series looks good. Don't get me wrong, but maybe even like there, like something about that is just a little bit more creepier, that face right there, than what we see now, like these effects here. But yeah, so those are our list. That's what we got, I think. So yeah, let us know what your list is down below, and then I guess at some point we'll have to put the TV series along all of these as well.
It's gonna go in an S tier for me.
So,
I would just let you know right now, it's done so well. It's been so on par. The episodes haven't been so like one's really good and one's really bad and one's really meh. They're all really good. Like they're just, and it's only gonna get better. So I'm excited. It's gonna be an S tier for me.
It'll be cool to see the final showdown. I hope they wrap it up well with all the, because I mean that's something really special that the Don Mancini. I don't know where exactly he started on with these, but to get to have a strand, like I said, they're just a strand of characters all come together in one at the finale.
See, he's too much of a sucker for that. I don't really fucking care if Andy comes back or not. I'm done with Andy. We've seen him so much. Like he needs to move on. His obsession is not Chucky. Like, so we're on different pages about that. I will say that I do look forward to seeing more of Jennifer, only because we never heard about her in the first 3 Child's Play movies. Then they were like, bam, a movie all about her. And we were like, who the fuck is this bitch? And then we had Seed, and we never really saw her again. We saw her in Cult. Did we see her in Curse? I don't remember. If we did, it was probably just for like 2 seconds. But I'm excited to see, how they met and what they were like before he was the doll. I'm so excited about that. If they don't do that in the TV show, it won't be an S tier for me. It'll probably be A. Because that's something that I feel like we've really been missing out on, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
I think we're getting it in the next few episodes for sure. But yeah, stay tuned for our reviews for that, and we will see you in the next one.